Welcome to the Michelle Mission. 2 men, 1 podcast, every black film ever made. My name is Vincent Williams, and I'm joined as always by my partner.
Hey, highlight your boy. This is Len, aka that triple.
And on this stop, we will spend some time with the historical period piece. Bodices and paracels and lords and ladies in 2013's BELLE. But before we get to BELLE, we have a scheduling announcement.
Yes, we do. We were scheduled to have a very special guest this evening. Carla Brothers, actress and producer, was going to join us because BELLE was her selection for our review this week. However, at the very last minute, she unfortunately had to postpone her appearance. She regrets that she couldn't be here. She was really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
She was really psyched. And we are rescheduling to bring her onto the show sometime in August.
Yes.
Now, so we will bring her sooner rather than later.
Yes.
To the mission,
and she'll choose another film.
She'll have to choose another film.
Maybe
another period piece.
Perhaps another period piece.
But actually, as I was thinking about it, thinking about this movie, and thinking about the whole idea that it's this historical costume drama.
Yes,
as it were.
Yes. One of your jams.
I wouldn't say it was one of my jams. I didn't select it.
I'm just saying this type of film.
Well, yes, I do. I am a sucker for a period drama.
Right,
that's true. But
okay,
as we are like almost a quarter of the way into the 21st century.
Yes.
The majority of the films that I enjoyed in my life would now be considered period films.
Absolutely.
Because they took place a whole other century ago.
Absolutely. I think one of the funny things about Stranger Things is they talk about how Winona Ryder is this walking encyclopedia of 80s facts and 80s knowledge. And she kind of corrects the Duffer Brothers.
Okay.
And says, oh no, that didn't come out until this month, so you can't play it here. This shirt is something that someone wouldn't play, that type of thing. And it is. You realize that your life occurred in a way that now it's a period piece.
I know. It's actually was a little depressing when I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to come up with my top 5 for tonight, and I was thinking about top 5 black period pieces.
Yeah. But
then I realized they're all period.
It could be anything. It's like The Best Man, Brown Sugar.
I was like, because I was ready to say something like The 5 Heartbeats,
right?
But then I stopped and said, you know what? New Jack City is a period.
Look, everything I just said, like when you look at Brown Sugar, The Best Man, it's like, oh, no one dresses like that anymore.
No.
That was 1990.
No. Well, okay. The Best Man, Brown Sugar, you could maybe get away with it. Okay, it's a movie of its time. You think that's the case?
It's a little floppy.
Really?
Yeah. Like you look at how did I just forget my favorite film with Lorenz Tate?
Love Jones?
Right. You look at Love Jones, Lorenz Tate has on a real floppy leather jacket. It's real floppy.
Okay, yeah. Okay, you could pick out 1 or 2 things.
Oh,
right?
The jeans are real floppy. Everybody's jeans are real floppy.
But I think like the fashions of something like New Jack City, they're more egregious.
But even when New Jack City came out, it was like, wow, it's a good thing that Nino Brown is a murderous drug dealer, because otherwise he'd get clowned for that jacket.
I don't know. He wouldn't get clowned. Now, you know who will get clowned? Mo Better Blues. Mo Better
Right,
Blues,
right.
with the shoulder pads.
Look, and I distinctly remember leaving Mo Better Blues, and on my to-do list was to get a grape-colored blazer. It's like, oh, I got to get me a grape-colored blazer because apparently that's the thing to have.
That is the thing
for a young fashionable man.
And there were plenty of places that
there
were
plenty. God bless them. Did y'all have Oak Tree in Philly? Yeah, Oak Tree in Philly.
Oh my God. You know, I blew my first college, credit card at the Oak Tree, man.
Get you a mustard colored pair of pants,
dude.
What you talking about? And a mini mock turtleneck,
dude. I had it all, man.
Couldn't tell us nothing.
I had it all. I had every faux Gordon Cartrell you can imagine, dog. I had it all. I had it all.
So yes, they're all period pieces.
They're all of a period.
They're
piece.
all period pieces.
Thus, that was not my top 5.
That was not your. That's right, because they're all period pieces.
And I do have a top 5 for this evening, but I'm actually going to save my top 5.
Okay.
For the end of the show this week.
Okay. All right.
Hope you can be patient.
We will be waiting with bated breath.
We do that. All right, but first, let's get into some listener mail.
Okay, missives from the missionaries.
We got an email, Vincent, from, I believe I have it up over here, from Terry Plain.
Hey, what's up, Terry?
Talking about streaming services.
Okay.
Hi, Len and Vince. Hope you are well and keeping hydrated and cool frequently. I hear you two reference streaming services when referencing where films can be accessed.
Right.
The main sources like Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, Hulu, etc. are well and good, but there are alternatives for those who may not have paid subscriptions.
Okay.
Many libraries have apps to access free movies as well as music, books, and magazines. Two of my favorites are Canopy and Hoopla. Canopy is an excellent source for worldwide cinema. I've seen amazing Black films, like recent ones you've mentioned or reviewed, Amazing Grace, Betty, and Killer of Sheep, and have a solid collection of Oscar Michaud films. There are cool indies that I hope you get to on the road to 400 as well, like Tijuana Jackson, Purpose Over Prison, and Cane River. And all, I hope you can plug people onto their municipal public services as they are already paying for, and explore what libraries have to offer. Your friendly library fan, Terry Plain.
Well, thank you, Terry. I think Terry makes very good points.
He does make a good point. I actually am a subscriber to Canopy.
Okay.
So I can definitely co-sign for Canopy having allowing you access to your library's catalog of films. It is pretty cool. I haven't had to dip there yet to get a film, but
yeah, and support your libraries.
Yeah,
I'm definitely for that. So yeah, thank you, Terry, for pointing that out.
Thank you very much. All right, so that was our listener mail for this evening. Now, Vincent, we're just coming out of Black Music Month.
Yes,
and in talking about Black Music Month, we got into talking about music biographies.
Yes.
And you had talked about a music biography that you think is, if it's not, I don't think you went so far as to say is your favorite.
No, but I enjoyed a great deal.
You enjoyed a great deal from the mid 80s, I believe.
Maybe. Yes. I forget what year it is. Speaking of Winona Ryder.
Right.
Yeah.
That is a film where Dennis Quaid portrays the rocker Jerry Lee Lewis in Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. And Alec Baldwin portrays his cousin.
Yes.
Jimmy Swaggart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Almost a parallel story.
No, not that parallel. Interestingly enough, that film comes out in 1989.
Wow, I didn't know it was that old.
A magical year for us that will be made clear to listeners relatively soon.
Yeah.
The film was directed by Jim McBride, stars Dennis Quaid as the rockabilly pioneer Jerry Lee Lewis. This film actually was streaming this week on Turner Classic Movies.
Wow, it's a Turner Classic movie. Talk about feeling old.
Talking about a period piece.
Yeah.
And as I had mentioned, I had not seen this film.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, well, here it is. Here's my opportunity to watch this film.
If I'm going to hell, I'm going to go playing this piano.
Yes. So here's my review of Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah.
Great Balls of Fire is a great ball of nothing. I found this movie to be I don't want to say it was boring.
Oh,
because it's not boring.
The crack that you smoke.
It's not boring.
Talk about New Jack City.
But but neither did I find it to be that entertaining.
You are 100% wrong.
I think
you are objectively wrong.
I think Dennis Quaid, who is an actor who, for the most part, I have enjoyed him in a lot of things that I've seen him in. But in doing this rockabilly voice of Jerry Lee Lewis, who, to be fair, I've never heard speak.
But right, that's just how he sounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was so over the top. It was annoying.
You apparently have never seen an interview with Jerry Lee Lewis.
It took me out of the movie, especially then when he would part his lips to sing. And I understand that it's not going to be his, at some of these biographies, it's not the person's voice, the actor's voice. But so Jerry Lee Lewis actually at the time.
Right. Those are his vocals.
Those are his vocals.
And I believe piano playing.
Yes. Yeah. Well, he was quite a talented piano player. Yeah. He redoes the vocals, but he redoes the vocals in 1989. So it's 1989 Jerry Lee Lewis. So he doesn't sound like a young man singing these songs. So so this young Dennis Quaid opens his mouth to talk, and all of a sudden to sing, and all of a sudden a 40-year-old voice is coming out of his throat.
That's a nit you're picking.
No, that's not the nick I'm picking. The biggest nick that I'm picking is twofold. The big story of the Jerry Lee Lewis rise and fall,
right,
is his marriage to his 13-year-old cousin.
Yes.
Which, while it is played up in this film, I think this film, probably because Jerry Lee Lewis definitely is presenting his version of events, massages that story quite a bit, right?
I mean, does it?
I think
like it actually deals like. I think the abuse in this is more graphic than it is in What's Love Got to Do with It and Get On Up.
It's more graphic than in Get On Up.
I'm
not going to say about What's
Love Got to Do with It. You only see it on screen once. Remember, we talked about it. We can actually pull up the audio. You hear it, and it's behind like a sofa. And then it's in the car, but you don't actually see it as much as you see the violence in Great Balls of Fire.
Okay.
Trust me, I've seen both films multiple times. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. The biggest nick I'm going to pick about this movie, and admittedly, this is a nit that can be picked with ton of these films,
right? Because I'm about to ask you, do you like any of these biopics?
I like a lot of them, but what I didn't like, what I really felt was bothersome to me in this one, and maybe maybe it's because we're coming out of Black History Month,
Mm-hmm.
is that everything about Jerry Lee Lewis, the star,
Right.
that he would become, is almost beat for beat a soulless reproduction, at least according to the film,
Mm-hmm.
of what he saw being performed and played in the black juke joints where he grew up.
I mean, is that your problem with the movie or your problem with rock and roll?
Well, it's my problem with rock and roll.
Okay.
But it's also
I agree with you.
I guess it's my problem with this film because in all the other iterations of this, there is at least some semblance of the artist taking that inspiration, because we know it happens all the time. It's happened, since time. But taking that inspiration and then marrying that with some level of talent that they have.
So is this your problem with Jerry Lee Lewis or your problem with the movie?
Maybe this is my problem with Jerry Lee Lewis.
Which, fair. Although I think he was actually a hell of a piano player. Like, I actually do think he was a hell of a piano player. Now, he's a hell of a piano player. As long as Little Richard isn't in the room or Fats Domino.
Right.
But I mean, the man could play the piano.
Okay, he can play it.
But as a film, the spectacle and the tone, I think is amazing. What I thought you were going to say was that they downplayed his cousin being 13, and Winona Ryder plays his cousin.
And Winona Ryder was
like in her 20s, I think, which, I don't know how you get around that. Like you can't really get a 13-year-old.
Yeah. I was fine with
play.
I was fine with the casting of her.
But I think as far as these things go, on a scale of 1 to, like, what is the most honest depiction of one of these figures' lives in film to you? Like what is your bar?
That's a good question.
Because as we all know, you don't like anything. So what is it that you dislike the least?
Well,
of these musical biographies,
I like Miles Ahead. I really enjoyed Miles Ahead.
Okay, Miles Ahead was pardon the pun, it was really kind of a riff. Like, it didn't really deal with biographical information. The
whole flashbacks are biographical.
Yeah, but we talk, I think Don Cheadle's whole strategy was that I'm going to have this kind of impressionistic portrait.
Mm-hmm.
So people like you won't say, oh, well, that's actually not what happened. And then Don Cheadle say, oh, I'm trying to give you an impression. Don't get caught up on that. He's in the elevator and the poster starts moving and the wall moves back. Obviously, this isn't a depiction of objective reality. So you can't judge it like that. I mean, one of these films, I was born a dirt poor whatever. I rose to fame. Drugs, money, ego, women, had a fall. Then I had a redemption. Then it's the black screen with the
real actor
with the text over that says, Johnny Rock and Roll played until 1991.
I like Ray.
Okay,
I like Ray.
Perfect. On a scale of 1 to Ray,
okay,
I think Great Balls of Fire is a strong 7, knocking on an 8.
I'd put it at a 6.
Where's What's Love Got to Do with it?
What's Love Got to Do with it? I think is probably an 8. Probably maybe a 9.
I actually think this is just under What's Love Got to Do with It.
Oh no, this can't touch it. This can't see.
You are getting caught up on the dude, which I can appreciate. Getting caught up.
I'm also getting caught up on Dennis Quaid. I didn't enjoy Dennis Quaid in this
tone.
film.
I love the breezy, farcical tone of it.
I don't like it.
You have no joy in your heart.
I have a lot of joy.
You have no joy in your heart. You stand on this island alone. Great balls of fire.
No, I don't. I'm looking in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. And who I saw say this, Sharon Eldridge. Sharon Eldridge says that I love Winona Ryder, like Dennis Quaid, but I've always avoided this movie because of the ick factor.
So she hasn't actually seen the movie. She's not standing there with you. Sharon just says she doesn't watch it because it's icky, which is fair because he married his 13-year-old cousin. While over on the side, Elvis was grooming a 14, maybe 15-year-old Priscilla. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just what these dudes did. Great Balls of Fire. I mean, I think they kind of had to address it because, like you said, that really did lead to his public downfall. Because he was a wild boy.
No, it was.
Yeah, he was a wild boy.
Well, even though that was his public downfall, but then if you read about his history, he actually staged a bit of a comeback.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because, white forgives white.
I mean, So you didn't like it?
I did not like it.
Okay, well, there you go. Lynn didn't like Great Balls of Fire.
I didn't.
Everybody update your list. Missionaries across the world have taken out their marble notebooks.
I saw. I wanted to.
Look, man, everything ain't for everybody, and no things are for you. You know I was setting you up. I'm also saying this because, spoiler, you like Belle more than I did. So we've got that going.
We do.
Oh, Lord Wellington.
Look, man.
We have correspondence from Dame Janson.
Do you not like any type of British period?
Oh my!
I mean, because I know you're not a Downton Abbey guy.
Oh my God! Oh my God! And this really is a case of everything isn't for everybody. But oh.
Have you ever watched The Gilded Age on HBO?
Oh, not at all.
This is so good.
Well, look,
it's so good.
Everything actually isn't for everybody.
It's so funny when I watch something like this. I immediately get into my bag, and then now I want to watch.
I know you do.
I want to go through all of it. Man.
I know you do. I know you do. I know you do. But that's where we're not there yet.
No, we're not. We're
not there yet.
We're not yet. Not there yet. Okay. All right. I'm looking at the people in the chat here. Sharon Eldridge again. What's Love's Got to Do with It was horrifying to watch at times, but a great movie and a great depiction of Tina's journey.
Absolutely.
That's very true. That is very
I agree with you, by the way. I think Ray is the zenith. And that is really the bar. Like that really kind of set the curve. And I also agree that What's Love Got to Do with It is right under Ray.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aaron Fry agreeing with me. The Gilded Age is my jam.
I mean, look, people like it.
Speaking of the Gilded Age, the star of the Gilded Age, Carrie Coon. I did not know she actually was the lead actress in the recent Ghostbuster reboot, Ghostbuster Afterlife.
Okay.
Which I watched this weekend.
Okay.
That's not a bad movie.
It's not bad. That's what I've heard. I've heard it's not bad.
It's actually not bad.
And I heard it really rehabilitates Ernie Hudson's character.
Yes, it does.
Which that's one of my little nerd rage things. So I was happy about that.
Yeah, they totally defanged them in the
I'm it's on my list.
It's
I just haven't gotten to it.
It's actually a really good movie, good reboot of the franchise if they choose to do more.
Right.
You know, like anything else, there's little nitpicks you could make here and there. I thought the cast was fantastic. I thought all of the kids in the movie were great.
Right.
So much so that it led me, like I told you, I get in these, I watch something, and now all of a sudden I start going down the well.
Absolutely.
So following watching that, I watched Stand By Me.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Great movie.
Absolutely.
Fantastic movie. Still holds up. Oh my God. It's a shame of River Phoenix, but great movie. Right. Then I watched The Goonies.
Oh yeah.
Missionaries, I'm about to take out my knife and lay waste to another sacred cow.
Are you serious?
The Goonies, while not a bad movie, fun. I don't think it ages super well, but fun-ish. I find almost to a man, all of the kids in that film get on my GD nerves and are so annoying. They are so just so insufferable, especially the little like chubby one who can't just give a serious line reading for anything to save his life. I found that watching that movie again, like I was not laughing, I was bored. And it made me watch Ghostbusters Afterlife again because I landed on Ghostbusters Afterlife is better than the Goonies and one of the better kid ensemble films that I've ever seen.
So here's the thing. I think the kids in Goonies are annoying because they're actually kids. Like, I think kids are annoying. Like, I think that's one of the great things about Goonies. Like, they act like kids who are annoying. I think at some point there was some type of shift in young actors became almost like miniature adults.
Bad News Bears.
I think the kids are annoying in Bad News Bears.
No, but I think that's when it happened. The original Bad News.
Yeah, but Bad News Bears is before Goonies.
No, I'm saying the original Bad News Bears is the start of that, I think.
No, but my point is, I think that whole crop of kid movies, like I actually agree with you that the kids in Goonies are annoying, but to me, that's part of what makes Goonies so great. Like they're actually kids, and kids are annoying.
Yeah, see, I don't know. See, like I don't find the kids in. I mean, because they're all young boys in Stand By Me. I don't
Stand By Me annoying. Was always a bit more mannered.
Well, yeah,
than the other kid.
Okay, because it's not one of those kid adventure films,
right? Like Sandlot is a little later, but I think Sandlot captures that. Like I think the kids in Sandlot are really annoying.
See, I don't think the Sandlot kids are annoying.
Oh my goodness,
I like the Sandlot a lot.
I think they're annoying little kids. I think it's funny you were talking about Ghostbusters Afterlife, and the one actor is one of the actors in Stranger Things. And I love the Stranger Things kids. Like, I love the Stranger Things kids, but they are clearly professional actors.
Well, by now.
No. When you look at the first season, these are clearly young actors who have been acting probably since they could talk. The kids in the Goonies actually seem like kids. like the kids in you know, I don't know, like what is it, Monster Squad? I'm thinking of those 80s movies that had kids around.
Okay. All right.
I think the great thing about the Coreys, like when the Coreys were in their pocket, they were like kids. Like they were actually kids.
That's when they were good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think part of it might
Corey Feldman and
Corey Haim.
Corey Haim. Yeah, right.
Like I think about them in Fright Night, and they're really annoying, but you know, they're kids.
I don't know.
Wait, are they in Fright Night or Lost Boys?
Well, Lost Boys is more the teenagers, so the kids aren't given much to do. I think there are kids in Lost Boys, but they're not given much. Like they don't give like real shine.
Yeah. Which one is it that the Coreys play the whatchamacallit brothers?
I think that is.
I'm hoping someone. Like, I feel like we are in a community of people that know this off
Lost
the top
Boys.
Of yeah, it's Lost Boys. Yeah, I love the Coreys and Lost Boys.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Yeah, but, you know, I love Goonies. Now, I'll say this. I haven't seen Goonies in probably 5 or 6 years. But I do remember Goonies being sort of, you know, annoying. And that's kind of the fun. Like, these are kids actually getting into an adventure.
I don't know. I just found them just insufferable.
Right.
And I really think you should.
Did you want them to get off your lawn? Did their ball land on your front yard? Did you go out and grab their ball and say, you know what? Now it's my ball. Now it's my ball. And then went back in the house?
No, I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
Do you turn your lights out on Halloween?
No.
You turn your lights out on Halloween?
No.
Yeah.
I did also watch.
Do you give out toothbrushes when the kids come to your door?
Who gives out toothbrushes?
People like you who don't like kids.
What do you mean I don't like kids? I love kids.
You just talking about how annoying the Goonies kids were. Insufferable. Insufferable is actually the word you use.
Yes, they are
for children on an adventure.
In the Goonies.
In the Goonies.
But not the kids in the Sandlot. I love them.
Uh-huh.
I love the Sandlot. And I love the kids in Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Right. Again, these kids have been acting for 10 years.
Well, excuse
me.
They're
very polished, very well put together.
Okay.
Child actors.
Okay.
All right.
Look, I'm sure if we went on in the IMDb of the cast of the Goonies,
right,
those kids had some.
Oh, I know they are actors, but I think I'm an actor, and then it comes across I'm an actor.
Isn't it like a young Josh Brolin in that film?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
He's acting.
He actually acts like an actual meathead.
Well, he's one of the best things in the
right.
movie.
And as you said, he's actually Hollywood royalty.
Wow.
But he actually acts like a meathead in the Goonies. He's fantastic.
He is.
All right.
He is very good. Aaron Fry asked, he said, Len, don't review Buckaroo Banzai because we know how your review will go. Well, fortunately for all of you, that's not a black film.
Yeah.
So I will not subject you to my Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, I was about to say, hey y'all, is everyone sitting down? Everybody good? You holding on to your seats? Lynn doesn't like Buckaroo Banzai. We've actually talked about that before offline. Lynn doesn't like Buckaroo Banzai. You know, missionaries, I try to work with him. I really do. Like, I do my best to be a team player.
I don't like.
I know you don't like Buckaroo Banzai. I know you don't like Buckaroo. I know you don't.
I want to.
I
really do.
You?
No, I really do.
Like you want to?
No, I do, because I know what it's trying to do.
Right, like you said,
and it is almost there.
It's like you sit there and you watch Buckaroo Banzai and like your eyes don't blink. And like a fly comes and lands on your eye.
I'm like, dude, in what's that other stupid movie you made me watch?
I don't know, Lynn. Which one? I don't know. Which one that you didn't like? Which one?
Clockwork Orange.
Oh, for God's sake! Yeah.
He got the toothpicks in his eyes. He's watching
right.
Buckaroo Banzai.
Right. So Great Balls of Fire, The Goonies, Buckaroo Banzai.
And I'm just blowing my brains out.
Yeah, we're all the problem now. We're all the problem. Anything else you want to talk about you don't like?
No, I don't think y'all ready.
Y'all ever see this movie called Citizen Kane?
No, wait.
Let me tell you about Citizen Kane.
Whoa.
Oh, I know you like Citizen Kane because it's old and black and white. I was just trying to pick one of the most classic films ever. But yeah, I know you like Citizen Kane.
I watched The Boys. I finished watching The Boys.
Okay. Right.
Love The Boys.
Love The Boys.
Great series.
All right.
Never, if people love The Boys, do not read the comic. Never need to read the comic. But
that you say that a lot about Garth Ennis. Not really.
That's very true.
He's not really a rereader.
No, he's not.
Guy.
But the show is great. You don't watch The Boys.
Oh, I do watch The Boys.
Did you finish it?
I did finish it.
Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it a great deal.
Okay.
And I love the way they've deviated from the source material and made it richer and more nuanced.
Yes.
Which, again, with Garth Ennis, it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
So.
And I also watched the 3rd season of Umbrella Academy.
I've not watched that.
That's a good show.
Camille likes it a lot. I'm trying to catch up.
That's a very good show, and I love what the changes they worked into the series.
Right, I'm trying not to nerd it out, but I do have to say, I was always a little cool towards the Umbrella Academy as a comic series.
Really?
Because he was clearly doing a Grant Morrison Doom Patrol riff, and by clearly, I think he said that.
Okay,
and like you're doing a Grant Morrison Doom Patrol riff, but like I got a big collection of Doom Patrol sitting up on my shelf right here. Like I don't have to read this. I have the Doom Patrol right here.
See, I tried to read Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol.
Oh, for God's sake. You didn't like Doom Patrol? You didn't like one of the greatest comic series ever written. You ain't like Doom Patrol?
Grant Morrison doesn't know how to finish the story. He doesn't know how to finish the story. He has great ideas.
God, Doom Patrol has one of the greatest endings ever.
I never got all the way to the ending.
Then how do you know?
Well, I mean, because I read the two trades that I read, and I didn't.
The end of his Animal Man run is perfect.
Okay, but that's not Doom Patrol.
You just said Grant Morrison, so I was just thinking of Grant Morrison series.
Okay, yeah.
His Justice League run ends perfectly.
That was all right. It was all right. What let his Justice League down was the art.
Okay, because I'm not getting comic booky with you because you are. I'm trying not to drop no F-bombs, but you are effing insane talking about Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol right now.
Umbrella Academy is better.
There is no one on Earth, including Gerald Way, who would say that Umbrella Academy is better than Doom Patrol. On Earth,
Gerald Way, so people know,
is the guy who grew up reading Doom Patrol and said, "I'm gonna do a Doom Patrol riff." Which it's all right.
I think
it's not bad.
I think
my daughter likes it.
I thought he wrote a tighter story. He did.
Okay, first of all, I need you to read the whole thing before you talk about how tight it is or isn't.
Well, I got time.
Well, then you shouldn't speak on it. Yeah, I guess you did like the Umbrella Cat. What was that? Eight issues?
It was more than it's three trades.
It's 3 trades. So I'm sorry. It wasn't 8. I'm sorry. It was 12.
No, that would be 18.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was 18. Yeah, all right. My bad.
Yeah, compressed storytelling.
Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
That's the key. Why you would be surprised what a person can do with just a sense of touch and a sense of sound.
Y'all couldn't hear Vince. He's still hollering at me.
That Derville Martin song ain't long enough. Play it again. Play it again. Put it on one more time. Put on the Derville Martin.
Why you would be surprised what a person can do with just a sense of touch and a sense of sound.
First of all, the art in a comic book is what tells the story. And if the art is not engaging enough,
The
then
art
it
is
it's hard-
engaging enough.
It's not.
Oh my god!
I didn't find
look,
it.
Give me somebody. Go ahead, give me somebody link.
6 degrees of
I
Durville.
cannot even believe you talking about the dude, and then you ain't even finish it. Talking about Grant Morrison doesn't know how to do it. I guess so if you ain't read the end. Go ahead. Go ahead.
How many trades is the Doom Patrol?
It's 60 issues.
It's 60
It's
issues.
5 years, 12 issues a year. It was super tight. He had a plan from the very beginning. It ends. He absolutely nails the ending. I think Grant Morrison nails endings better than people like Alan Moore.
Okay, I'll give you that. Then let me ask you this. Is Woosah, is it on the DC Universe app?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay, because I have the DC Universe.
Okay.
App.
Oh, good.
Okay, because I've been reading All Star Squadron. I knew that was good.
I cannot believe, and God bless, God bless Roy Thomas. But Roy Thomas is like the avatar of the geek boy who became a comic writer.
That is very true. And
the artist Jerry Ordway. How many issues does Jerry Ordway do of All Star Squadron?
I think he does.
Like he doesn't do the whole series.
He doesn't do the whole series. He does a good chunk of them. Yeah,
and he's a primo craftsman.
And this is early.
Yeah,
this is like his introduction.
That really is. I mean, you know, that really is just sort of. It's nothing really there. Like God, God bless the All Star Squad.
I just like that World War II stuff. But I will read Doom Patrol. Okay.
Who am I linking? I can't even. Go ahead. Who am I linking? Who get from Durville Martin to who? I can't.
Camellia says, "Let us pray for Vince." Vince is going off. Vince is going off.
It's so good. Like I don't even try and push comics on everybody, but I really do have like my 5 that like people say, I want to read, it's an American art form. I really need to see it at its best. What do you think I should read?
Okay, that's good. All right.
And that is very much on my list.
Okay, that's good. That's
like
good. So what's your 5? What's your 5? You put it out there.
All-Star Superman.
Okay.
Batman Year One. Watchmen. Like the first 2 years of Doom Patrol, because I think you really do have to commit to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Animal Man in totality is might be the zenith of a comic about comics. So, just off the top of my head. And then I got some we're not doing this. We're not getting comic. You asked me, I told you, but
our 5 totally disagrees.
No.
It totally disagrees.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would not pull Batman Year One. I'd have pulled a Batman, but it wouldn't have been Year One.
Oh, I think Batman Year One is perfect.
No, it's good. It's very, very, very good.
I mean, every Batman movie that people have liked in the past 20 years has pulled from Batman Year One.
No, I'm not knocking it, but I'm just saying, to me, the total essence of Batman as he will become, because that is very much the beginning of Batman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The essence of Batman as he will become, plus still kind of an engaging, interesting story that maybe, depending on who you are, doesn't stick the landing as much, but I still enjoy it. I take the twofer, The Long Halloween and Dark Victory.
You know what? I will agree with you.
Yeah.
But you must grant that you can't have either one of them without year one.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, like year one.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad substitution. I think we're actually saying the same thing. That's not a bad substitution.
Yeah. That's what I would give people.
The irony is that I think the art is better in year one.
Well, yeah, it's David Mazzucchelli.
Right, but you the art dude. So I'm surprised you would pick Long Halloween.
Well, because as much as I do like David Mazzucchelli's Batman, his year one, and I like him as an artist, there's something about the gothic, over the top edginess of Tim Sale's Batman that
I love
just floors the hell out of.
All right, all right. So okay, but I'll go along with that. All right, but we were real calm. Go ahead, give me some. Who we got?
Right. 6 Degrees of Derville Martin, ladies and gentlemen.
6 Degrees of Derville.
Where Vincent has to get from 70s superstar Derville Martin to an actor of my choice. Vincent, are you ready?
I guess I'm ready. Brains all
right.
But who get?
Now this ties into our film BELLE, which stars Gugu Mbatha-Raw.
Yes, sir.
Who is was named MBE by the Court of England.
Okay, and what does that stand for?
I knew you were going to ask me that. MBE stands for the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire.
Okay.
It was a British order of chivalry, rewarding contributions to the arts and sciences, work with charitable and welfare organizations, and public service outside the civil service.
Very nice.
And she was gifted with that in 2017 by Queen Elizabeth.
Okay.
So this, I will have you connecting Derville, who was honorable mention, I believe, on one of those lists.
Of course.
Back in his day.
Of course. It's got an apostrophe in his name.
To others who have been named and knighted by the Queen.
Okay.
First, we have the Grande Dame.
Oh, the Grande Dame.
Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews. Well, that is an interesting choice.
Julie Andrews, who, just to give you her bona fides, she was declaimed Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire, a DBE.
Okay. Okay. Is Dick Van Dyke in Bye Bye Birdie?
That's a good question. Hold on.
He might not be.
I always think of Paul Lynde because I know he's in there. I think we've asked that question before.
No, I was thinking about what's her name?
He is in the film.
Okay. All right. Derville Martin is in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Sidney Poitier. Sidney Poitier is in The Defiant Ones with Tony Curtis.
Yes.
Tony Curtis is in Some Like It Hot with
You always blank on him.
I know because I mixed him up with Walter Matthau one time, so now I can't get Walter Matthau out of my mind. Give me his name.
I feel like I can't because Ellis Heron will hit us up. He says I play too soft with you.
Oh, I'm looking right at him. Give me his name. Because I know who he is. Come on.
Jack Lemmon.
Jack Lemmon. Jack Lemmon is in Grumpy Old Men with Anne Margaret. Anne Margaret is in Bye Bye Birdie with Dick Van Dyke, who's in Mary Poppins with Julie Andrews.
Wow. Okay. Well, you got there. I mean, I think that was 6. So you got there.
There you go.
All right. So you got the Julie Andrews. Very good,
yes.
Vincent. So next we
Jack
have
Lemmon.
Jack Lemmon. Get that tattooed someplace.
I know.
Get from Dervell
It's
Martin
like me and Bing Rames.
to Helena Bonham Carter.
Helena Bonham Carter.
Yes, Helena Bonham Carter, who was named a CBA.
Okay.
CBE, excuse me, CBE.
All right. What Tim Burton movie am I going to get to with her? Dervell Martin is in. How am I going to get to Helena Bonham Carter? This is how I'm going to get to him. Dervell Martin is in Dolomite.
Okay.
With Rudy Ray Moore. Rudy Ray Moore is in The Monkey Hustle with Rosalind Cash.
Mm-hmm.
Rosalind Cash is in Omega Man with Charlton Heston.
Okay.
Charlton Heston is in Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes with Helena Bonham Carter.
Wow. That was
How you like that roundabout way?
that was a very roundabout way. Very good, Vincent.
You know what though? Double check for me.
Was
Is that Rosalind Cash in Omega Man?
I will check. Let's see. Omega Man movie, which that would be Rosalind Cash.
Okay.
Now, who did you say she was in that movie with?
Charlton Heston.
Oh, there he is. Well, it's interesting. Like his name is his face is not the first name that comes up when you look.
How is Charlton Heston's name not the first name? It's
That-
his movie.
I know. Guess who the name comes up first?
I mean, if it's not Rosalind Cash,
It's
or
Rosalind Cash.
maybe they're doing it alphabetically.
I was thinking that too, but
Yeah.
no, his name actually comes up last.
That's
And I knew
bizarre.
like offhand that he was in it, but then not seeing his name, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I'm pretty sure this guy is in the film. But yeah, Charlton Heston.
all right. Well, there you go.
Very good, Vincent.
All right. And I got to talk about Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes.
And that's about the only thing we're going to say
It's
about
a
that film.
weird movie.
It's
If you don't like Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes, I'm not mad at you.
no, that's not a good movie.
It's a bizarre film.
Very, very, very bizarre.
You know, I love that moment though. Like I love that moment where the studios were like still throwing money at Tim Burton. Like they were just throwing the money. Like after Batman, people kept throwing money at Tim Burton, and then he would make that weird Tim Burton stuff. And the studios are like, well, do we have any more? Is there any more money in the back we can give him? Tim Burton wants to make another movie. Like, who thought Tim Burton making Planet of the Apes was a good idea?
I mean,
You mean what?
first of all, I could see from a visual aspect him maybe, you thinking that he might bring something new to the aesthetic of the film. He didn't, but actually, it wasn't.
The designs are nice.
The designs were pretty good.
Yeah, the sets are kind of interesting.
So I can see that.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's that off the wall to put him at the head of a Planet of the Apes reboot.
I joke, but I think Marky Mark is the weak link of Planet of the Apes.
Well, you know the famous story about him and the off-color remark.
Yeah, about Janet Jackson.
Yeah,
saying, well, appropriately enough, Helena Bonham Carter, when she plays an ape in Planet of the Apes, and when she has on her makeup, he says she looks like Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
It's one of many reasons I don't really rock with Marky Mark that hard.
No. Yeah. Me neither.
Yeah. So, but there you go.
All right.
All right.
Well, very good, Vincent.
Well, thank you, sir.
You nailed it once again.
Well, I had all that rage I had to channel because sat over there.
Yeah, you were hot. All right.
All right.
All right. Let's get into our review
Okay.
of
Belle. Doom, 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 doom.
But first, it's time for trailer talk, Vince, where we talk about things that will be cut off out of the show because the trailer will run.
What you want to talk about?
I don't want to talk about comics.
I feel like we talked about stuff during the show we should have talked about now.
I don't want to talk about comics.
Did you finish Animal Man? You didn't finish Animal Man.
No.
You didn't finish Animal Man.
No. I didn't like the art. Yeah, I mean,
Chaz Trog is not a great artist.
yeah, I didn't like the art.
I mean, it worked for what it was.
And it didn't work for me.
Are those all 2000 AD guys? Because that's what Richard Case on Doom Patrol. I know that's Chaz Trog on Animal Man.
I don't know if they're all 2008. I mean, they're all British guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably did. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't do a story or two.
They smell like 80s British artist.
Yeah. But
so
yeah, I didn't like the art of that.
So good.
Yeah.
So
you know what, Grant Morrison. I'm trying to think of what Grant Morrison that I liked from beginning to end. Just Batman was interesting.
it was interesting. It kind of crawled up his ass by the end.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
I unfortunately like I said, I think the art let down as Justice League. Again, wild ideas. I just don't think he stuck the landing.
Oh, I think he stuck the landing on Justice League. Batman, I don't think he stuck the landing.
I'm trying to remember what was his last Justice League story.
It's the I think it's the Dark Side story.
Okay.
And at the end, everyone becomes a superhero. And then at the end, like that's the first time you see, because it's the running joke, the whole series where Batman says, I'm not in the Justice League.
Yeah.
I'm a part-time. And then like the last moment in the series is something happens. And Superman looks at him and is like, you want to come? And Batman's like, grumble, grumble, grumble. And he goes with him.
All right.
Because that's quietly the beginning of Batman as the badass in the modern era. Because remember the first storyline is when the White Martians come and they capture everybody.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Batman is the only one. And Superman laughs
Mm-hmm.
and is like, oh, well, y'all. And they're like, well, he doesn't have any powers. Some. And that was really the beginning of the modern Batman badass period.
You know what Superman said to him?
What?
You know you done fucked up.
Right. Exactly. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You know what I like about I like Grant Morrison's X-Men.
Oh, Grant Morrison's X-Men is great. But the irony, I think the art lets it down.
Because it's all over the place.
Because it's all over the place.
He didn't have a steady
Right.
artist. Yeah. Good point. All right. Okay, Aaron Fry asked a question.
Okay.
I'll go to Farrell Blackwell's question first. About the Woman King.
Yes.
You saw the trailer.
I saw the trailer.
Because I haven't seen the trailer.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
Viola Davis. It comes out in September.
Yeah. Viola Davis, it's like you can tell that it's weird. It's kind of like remember when RZA made the Kung Fu movie?
Mm-hmm.
And they played like the Wu-Tang Clan music over the Kung Fu movie. So it was like the snake eating its own tail.
Yes.
That's what the Woman King is like. Like the Dora Milaje were based on these women warriors, but visually, so much of it looks like what we think of with the Dora Milaje.
Gotcha.
But it looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good.
I haven't seen the trailer, but I've heard nothing but great things about that. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. And Aaron Fry asks, did either of you finish Star Trek Strange New Worlds?
Yeah.
He loved it.
I did too.
You loved it?
Did you watch the last episode?
I have watched the last episode of Strange New World.
If that wasn't the best alternate, did you see the video where they put it
Side
by
by
side with I always want to say the Tholian Web, but that's not that.
No,
episode.
it's not the Tholian Web. It's
the episode with
where's George Kimona?
With the Romulans. It's the famous episode.
Yes, I did see that. I did see that little video where they put it side by side.
So good. But you know I'm angry at myself that I like it so much.
I know.
Because it's sort of, I wanted to say this when you were talking about the Ghostbusters movie. Like the politics right underneath it are kind of seedy and ugly. Like this really is this sort of triumph of this conservative vein of nerddom. Like we like it the way we like it. We like it the way it used to be. But it's really good.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying in that regards, but I do think in maybe giving people a little bit of a Star Trek that they're familiar with, it does ably update things enough so that it feels like a true ensemble, that it feels like there are, like, while being set in the past, there are stakes that it's playing with. So I think that they're trying to give people familiar, but also speak from a 21st century.
Yeah, but it's a
lens
big old bowl of member berries.
It is. But like you said, they're trying to give them. Look, they've got a little bit of everything. Discovery is for the new 21st century vein of storytelling and aesthetic. And Strange New Worlds is your original Star Trek with that 21st century, overlay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If you will.
Yeah, it's got a nice sheen, but
So
yeah. But I loved it.
Yeah, I liked it.
And I'm mad that I loved it, but I did love it. So there you go.
There you go.
Speaking of the past,
let's
in period pieces.
Let's get into the past.
All right, let me open because I'm up because you.
Our review of BELLE. This one's for you, Carla. Carla Brothers, who could not be here this evening. Looking forward to her choice. Why she choose like the last Boy Scout?
All right. Let me know.
Let me take down that banner. Oops. Take down that comment. Okay. And you may fire when ready.
BELLE, a 2013 British period drama directed by Amma Asante and written by Masan Segei, is a film inspired by the 1779 painting of Dido Elizabeth Bell beside her cousin, Lady Elizabeth Murray, at Kenwood House. Very little is known about the life of Dido Bell, who was born in the West Indies and was the illegitimate mixed-race daughter of Mansfield's nephew, Sir John Lindsay. She was found living in poverty by her father and entrusted to the care of Mansfield and his wife. This fictional film centers on Dido's relationship with an aspiring lawyer, and it is set at a time of legal significance as a court case is heard on what became known as the Zong Massacre, when slaves were thrown overboard from a ship and the owner filed with his insurance company for the losses. BELLE was actually chosen by our friend Carla Brothers. We will try to do it justice. Directed by Amma Asante, written by Masan Segei. Lynn, would you please begin our conversation about Carla Brothers' choice, Belle?
Well, I will, Vincent, by pointing out that this is a film, while not being the technical debut, this is the film that put Michelle Mission favorite Gugu Mbatha-Raw on the map, as she leads this film in the title role of Belle. And even at this very early stage of her career, at this moment, she only has 3 relatively small film credits to her name, in Straight Heads, Larry Crown, and Nye Thomas. And here she is leading this quite a formidable cast in Tom Wilkinson, Miranda Richardson, Penelope Wilton, and a very young Matthew Good. Speaking of, seen as in Watchmen, and very recently seen, if you people are Paramount subscribers, in the Godfather, making of Godfather TV series, The Offer. He plays Robert Evans in there. So it's quite a formidable cast to have this very young neophyte actress at the helm, being our window into this world. And it is, you know, I'm just going to say it. It is absolutely amazing how good she is right from the beginning.
Yep.
You cannot take your eyes off of her. You believe everything that she says. She's totally authentic in this world. She feels of the time. She feels of the piece. The words, while this film, you know, it's British, and it's a British historical drama. So with that comes all the pomp and pageantry that, you know, those type of films definitely evoke. You know, you joked about the bodices and the curtsies and the very mannered way of speaking, and she is right at home with that, and yet it still feels very authentic coming from her tongue in this film. She is just spot on in this movie, and from the beginning, she is the best thing in this film, and a film that is filled, as I mentioned, with very formidable actors. Tom Wilkinson, a classic character actor, and it's never met a moment on screen that he was not ready to dip his fork and knife into, and he does it very ably in this film as well. Miranda Richardson is, I mean, what can be said about Miranda Richardson? She's one of the consummate professionals of her time, and she is, again, does stellar work in this film. Like Penelope Wilton is someone who I fell in love with, yes, on Downton Abbey, but now I have discovered her in so many other things, and just continues to enjoy watching her. So, you know, watching this film, it's a gorgeous movie. It is an absolutely gorgeous movie to watch. All of these actors and all of these set pieces being played out on the screen. The story is, while based on this real picture that you mentioned, this picture of these cousins, Dido Elizabeth Belle and Lady Elizabeth Murray, the story that has been crafted by Mazan Segei around that photo, as far as we know, is 100% fiction. We don't know much about the story of these two cousins outside of that they were cousins, outside of that. Yes, Dido is of a mixed race coupling between Sir John Lindsay and an unnamed woman of color, unnamed in the legend, and thus unnamed in the film. And yet, even with that, though, and her father, played by Matthew Good, enters the film very early because he enters Belle's life at a relatively young age, finding her living in squalor, as it says. We're not led to believe how he went about finding her.
Sure.
That mystery goes unsolved, and it's not even a question you really ask. The question is whether or not she will be accepted into this society. He will unfortunately not be around to really introduce her into this society, because he, as a young man at this time, has to go off to I think it's not a war that he's fighting, is it? He's going off to like
I just assume it was some pillaging and raping of indigenous peoples somewhere.
Yes, they're going out doing British. Well, I think because we're in the middle of the slave trade.
At
This time. So yeah, you're right. They're out there doing their colonizing.
Some British dudes on a boat in the late 1700s. Ain't nobody really happy to see them.
That's very true. Yeah. Very true. And he's out. He goes out there, and as a lot of the men who went out there to do these things, he was lost to the sea.
Mm-hmm.
The real story is Belle as she grows up. We don't really see her grow up. Belle as she navigates, herself as a young adult in this world, and also navigating in this world and coming to grips as she learns more and more, not only about her father, and not much about her mother, but learns really what it means to be Black in a white world, as opposed to Black in this white Tiffany box in which she lived,
right?
And as her eyes open to the realities outside, far afield from her manicured lawns, that reality ignites a bit of self-exploration in her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it lands on very smartly how I mentioned the mother is never mentioned, never seen. The father leaves the film very early on, before the first 10 minutes, he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And yet their presence is still there.
Mm-hmm.
You still feel their presence. Belle speaks without really knowing her mother, speaks of the debt that she owes to her mother, whose only crime is that she was a Negro, and that's only a crime because you can see it, and all of that is that performance by Gugu Mbatha-Raw is just mind-bending and carries this film through some of the narratives that, if these type of films are, cut and paste from other films.
Mm-hmm.
The arranged romances that really don't fit. With the two suitors vying for the hand, one of them's a jerk, and then there is a man of low station who actually is the love of her life.
You actually said of low station.
Well, I mean, come on, man. I mean, because it's all of these movies.
You are in your bag right now.
It's all of these movies. I mentioned the Gilded Age of HBO. It is literally the entire first season of the Gilded Age.
Of low station, I swear, if you accept my hand, I shall endeavor to.
And you've got to fight through a lot of that, because if you're not of this world, if this world maybe, you tilt your eye a little bit to it, you might find yourself a little woozy, a little drowsy watching this film. And I will admit that early on, Morpheus was on my lap saying, like,
oh boy.
He was, hello, Len, just dripping sand in front of my face. But I soldiered on.
As one does when faced with challenges.
And I powered through.
Did you close your eyes and think of England?
No, I didn't. No, I dare not close my eyes. I dare not close my eyes because that wouldn't have been a good move. But I powered through. And I made it to the end of BELLE. And once I got there, I found myself on the other side, on a whole, saying, okay, I like the film. Because, yes, I'm a sucker for these films. I'm a sucker, and I'm also a sucker for these films and the romance of the film.
Sure.
And Gugu Mbatha-Raw, she gets over the romance of it. You actually feels that I actually felt like she was in love with
where that lower lip get to quivering. Gugu Mbatha-Raw, she get that lower lip quivering.
She's got the beauty mark and the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And it got me. It got me in my feels. It got me in my feels a little bit. And I liked it. I thought it was at the end. I thought it was sweet. Yes, I thought that the story of the legal issue with the ship, the Zong ship, and this legal matter that was being adjudicated by her father, who was like I guess like one of, if not the Supreme Court of this area, because these slaves were basically thrown overboard,
and that part is true.
Chained. Yes, this is a true story
about this massacre.
About this massacre, and I think tacking that onto this is a way of giving this story a little bit more heft.
That's a good word.
A little bit more gravitas than the typical romantic period drama of the film. And I see what they're trying to do. I feel that the story is a little bit too. I honestly feel this story is a little bit too serious to get the C plot of this film.
Okay.
That it does. Okay. I think that this is a story that warrants a lot more exploration.
Sure.
A lot more screen time.
Sure.
Than it's given.
Yeah.
Because the major crime in that is that this story is really only given voice by the white actors in this film.
Sure.
BELLE discovers the story and it discovers, this whole trial going on. And while she's instrumental in bringing some evidence to light, I felt like the scene in which she does that is pretty much a throwaway.
Yeah.
And then
it's unnecessary.
Yeah. And then after that, the whole adjudicating of it is, like I said, firmly in the voice of these white men. And I think that does a disservice to the significance of this story for it to be, like I said, tacked on as the C plot of this, it's at heart a romantic drama.
Sure.
So that part I was not happy about. Short of that though, and it's leisurely pace early on, let's not put it that way. I got lost in the pomp and pageantry of it a little bit and liked the movie.
Look, I joke with you about and it's just not my thing. Like, I don't like period pieces and I just don't enjoy them.
Right.
But much like you, I think there are aspects of this film that cannot be denied. Gugu Mbatha-Raw is everything. Like, she really is. And I like that you underlined how young she is in her career. And this is the film. This is her film. I'm pretty sure she's in every scene.
Pretty much.
And as you said, not only is she in every scene, she is acting against some real heavyweights. And she holds her own. Speaking of them, everything that you said, Tom Wilkinson, Miranda Richardson, Wilkinson, Miranda, I 100% agree with you. Like, they inhabit these roles. They have this presence, this gravitas. Like, you understand why they could make their bread and butter making these period pieces, because it can't be easy to do it. I would add to that, I really enjoyed Tom Felton, who many of us knew as Draco in the Harry Potter films.
Yeah.
And if I had not seen interviews with him, where he seems like a really nice young man.
Right.
Wow, does he play an asshole well?
He does asshole well.
Like, he is so good in this film. It is a period piece. It is a romance. I think one of the things that I admire about this film, especially post Bridgerton, the phenomenon of Bridgerton, is the way that this character is integrated into this world, where this is not colorblind casting. This is not, and forgive me if I describe something from Bridgerton incorrectly, because I didn't watch Bridgerton. But from what I understand, part of the Black cast is what some historians have pointed out, that there's at least one queen of England who was descended from Moorish stock. That, if basically she was Black. But you do have to kind of stretch and look, and there's theorizing like this is part of the Beethoven was Black kind of history making. But I love how naturalistic this character is in this world. Like, I love at one point she says that to her uncle, you won't let me eat with the servants. You say I'm too high to eat with the servants because of my blood. I'm a lady. I'm in this class, but I'm too low to eat with the guest.
Yeah.
And I think this film does a great job capturing this impossible position that this woman is in. And I admire how it creates space within the genre that I don't like. But it is a genre, like this does exist, and it creates this space for her. Like you said, she has the two suitors, she has the romantic entanglement. I think it respects the authenticity of this character. Because I'm not a fan of this genre, it comes to no surprise that the moments in this film that I enjoyed the most were the moments that fell outside of the framework of the period piece romance. There's a scene where a Black servant shows her how to comb her hair.
Yes.
Because Belle has been raised.
Mabel is the servant.
Right. Belle has been raised around all white people. And I think it's worth saying that except for this one character, Mabel, Belle is the only Black person in the whole movie.
I know.
So even that, you have to kind of point to Raw's performance and how she kind of holds space in here. But I love, like, I wanted an entire movie of Belle and Mabel and them trying to figure out each other. Like you said, this Zong massacre was an actual thing. I think I love depictions of slavery that really fold in the economics of it. And I do like the fact that they acknowledge that part of the gravity of this case was that if you unraveled slavery and the slave trade, this could, and it did, this would decimate the English economy, which is all 100% true. Like when you start following the money, everybody ate off of slavery. I always think there's a quick moment in Lovecraft Country where the characters, and by is Journey Smollett and Jonathan Majors are following one of these upper class white characters, and he's taking them through his house and he's showing them these portraits and he's talking about the family fortune, and he says, my family made their money off of shipping. And Journey Smollett looks over and whispers to Jonathan Majors, whenever they say they made their money off of shipping, what they're really talking about is slavery.
That's right. Because
it was so intertwined in the economy. So I like that part as well. But as you said, this is the C plot. Like, this has nothing to do with the movie. I mean, or rather, this is the part of the movie that could have been excised, and you would have kept the meat of the movie. So that I was bored, but I don't think it was the movie's fault. I'm just bored by these movies.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't think there's a version of this. Like, I don't think there's a perfect version of this movie that I would have been interested in.
The romantic, or just
the period, this sort of Wuthering Heights formula. It's a young woman and she's got two suitors, like you said. One is a rich guy and he's an asshole, and then the other one is true love, and now she has to figure out how to be with the guy that she loves, and it's just not interesting to me. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's just not my jam.
Okay.
But I really admire how this film created space for this Black character to be in this room. And although it's not my thing, I'm really glad this film exists. And I have to say, I'm glad that I saw it.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Oh, there you go.
And frankly, it's ahead of its time. It's ahead of its time. I mean, again, Bridgerton, everybody was all Bridgerton last year. And then this is really, like, that was really the hook of Bridgerton.
That's very true.
It's a period piece with people of color. And at the risk of nerding it out once again, more than we've nerded it out already.
We've nerded.
There's a whole vein, and this, of cosplayers that have gone out of their way to inhabit like Renaissance fairs. And they've done all of this wonderful research. And when we talk about Black people during this time period, Belle is a great text to go. And so, if you like Bridgerton, if you like Black people in these spaces, and I like it, like, I like that. Like, I like that, like, I like us in places. I think this is a good film for people to watch.
That being said, would you recommend people watch the film?
I would recommend this to people if they like period pieces.
Okay.
If you're like me and Lord Wellington, whatever shall I do? Like, Lynn, when they start, as soon as them dudes start talking about I'm the fourth son, so I have a title, but I don't have any lands, and we need to marry her and join our lands. So that I said, oh Lord, sweet Jesus.
Yeah,
sweet
but I
baby
like that
Jesus,
because they were
grown one too.
Because they were actually talking slick about one another, man.
Yeah.
Underneath their breath, in all hoity-toity way. I
say, sir, you do take advantage. Oh man,
I dug it. I dug it.
Like when Tom Felton put his hands on her.
Oh,
And she said, "How dare you do that?" And he said, "Quite easily." I said, "Oh."
he said with ease.
With ease.
Yeah.
But see, that's outside of the period piece. Like usually it is, you know, sir, you take
take liberties,
you
sir.
take liberties, sir.
Yes.
I am a lady. So if you like that stuff, I would recommend Belle.
I would recommend Belle too.
Yeah.
I would recommend Belle. I thought it was very interesting text. I always got time for Gugu Mbatha-Raw.
Yeah.
I always got time for Matthew Good, as little as he is in the film. But I also got time for him. I got time for Tom Wilkinson. I got time for everybody. I got
It's a great cast.
Great cast, gorgeous film.
It's a it's a gorgeous film, and it's a well-directed film.
Yes, yes.
And the costumes are beautiful.
It's beautiful. It is stunning.
Like this really is. This is a production that I think you can stand with any of these other films.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I really like that. I want to give a shout out to one other actor. We haven't really mentioned him, I don't believe, and that would be Sam Reed, who plays John Devanier, ultimately the young man of Low Station, who
I am but a simple solicitor,
wins the heart of Dido, Elizabeth Belle. I thought it was pretty good.
I mean, look,
I
think everybody was good. And again, I do think there is a mastery of this craft that you need to pull this out without looking ridiculous. Like, you people are ridiculous right now, but they pull it off.
They do.
You know, so look,
that's good. James Norton was it's everybody's good.
I was about to say, Lynn, I know you know every
it's got like good people. All right.
Alistair Singleton.
Anyway, I said that my top 5 is going to tie into this film a little bit.
Okay.
This film comes out in 2013.
Yes.
And I told you this is really the coming out for Gugu Mbatha-Raw.
Yes.
She mans this ship. Her follow-up to this would be another film that is underrated, that we both enjoyed. And it comes out in 2014, and that's Beyond the Lights.
Okay. Wow.
Right?
Okay.
That's her follow-up. Not a bad follow-up.
No, it's not.
For her. She does well, but it is a film that is
and she's a completely different character.
And sells it, owns it. But a film that got slept on, and probably, to be fair, because of some controversies that have nothing to do with the movie itself,
right?
Maybe will remain slept on.
Yeah.
If you like it, you like it, but it may not be a film people will.
I don't know how much it's going to be in the film festival.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thinking about that, though, it got me to thinking, as fantastic as she is in that film, were there possibly other opportunities for Gugu Mbatha-Raw to, step out on a follow-up from Belle in a bigger way,
okay,
in a more audacious way, and make it even by virtue a bigger splash,
okay,
in her career, right? So I came up with, just looking at the films of 2014,
okay,
the top 5 movies that needed Gugu Mbatha-Raw.
Okay.
From 2014. All right. Starting with number 5. Into the Woods.
5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5 Okay.
Did you ever see Into the Woods? Do you know what Into the Woods
That's the
is?
film version of the musical?
Yes.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Did you ever see the musical?
I did not.
Into the Woods is the film version of the very popular Broadway musical of the same name. Featured an amazing cast. There was nothing wrong with this cast. Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, James Corden, Anna Kendrick, Chris Pine, who is hilarious in the film. Christine Baranski. You know, the film is centered on a childless couple who set out to end a curse placed on them by a vengeful witch. Ultimately, the characters are forced to experience the unintended consequences of their actions, right? This is a film that was directed by Rob Marshall. It was a box office success. The budget was $50 million. It made $213 million. Not bad.
Not bad.
They certainly probably expected more.
Right. I feel like it was soft.
Yeah.
Is the word I kept hearing
because
about.
it was a mixed response.
Yeah.
To the film. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with the movie.
Right.
However,
she would add something to it.
Gugu Mbatha-Raw.
Right, would add something.
Just added I think just a real touch of spice.
Just a little spice.
To that film. I think that was what was missing.
The cast you just read off was pretty monochrome. So
no, that
yeah
as well.
Right.
And I think that the direction doesn't do them any justice for the most part. And I also think that as much as I like Anna Kendrick, I'd have taken her out and put in Gugu Mbatha-Raw. I don't know if Gugu can sing, but I think I'd like to see her give it a try.
That's good. Because I really like Anna Kendrick.
I do like Anna Kendrick. And she can sing. And she's got like a little bit of spunk too.
Gugu Mbatha-Raw funny?
Well, that's a good question.
I mean, I'll go along with you with this, but you know, Anna Kendrick really is like the full package.
To that question you ask, Gugu does not have a lot
of comedies.
Yeah. On her resume. You know, she does not. Well, did you watch the morning show?
I have not.
Okay, because she was a regular on the morning show.
Okay.
She was in Loki. But that's not funny, and she's not funny.
Yeah, good energy though.
Good energy. So anyway, that's my number 5.
All right, number 5. Number 4.
Number 4. Sin City: A Dame to Kill For from 2014, the sequel to Sin City. Now, Sin City: A Dame to Kill For, not a good movie.
I say that was kind of a dog.
It was a big dog.
Yeah, you'd add anything to that would have made it better.
Yes. I put that movie on here though because you can't tell me that Gugu Mbatha-Raw, one, you know, we've been talking about her acting chops. You can't tell me she's not a dame to kill for.
She fun.
And in this movie, A Dame to Kill For, which is adapted from a comic by Frank Miller.
I'm not even going to ask you if you've read it. Just keep going.
And in this movie, it's the only story that was actually adapted from a comic. The Dame to Kill For in this movie was played by Eva Green. Not a bad actress.
I don't even know who that is.
But
where would I know her from?
You probably, let me think. I want to make sure because I think she was in she was in Casino Royale.
Okay. Yeah.
Which you obviously don't know her from.
And I 100% saw Casino Royale like twice. But okay, sure.
I thought for sure you'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah. But no. Anyway, she's not bad.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But Gugu Mbatha-Raw would have murdered that scene.
Yeah.
You know, and added again a little bit of spice to that film. which desperately
I'm gonna
needed.
try and keep it going, but I guess Frank Miller. You think Frank Miller would have let a black woman play that role? I don't know if Frank Miller had signing off.
Right? Yeah, well, he probably did because he actually wrote the other stories in that film.
Yeah, I don't know Frank Miller.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah, let's keep
number 3.
Moving along. Number 3,
Hercules from 2014.
Okay.
Now, this was the version of Hercules that Dwayne Johnson starred in.
So Dwayne Johnson, all he won, he always gonna be The Rock to me.
Okay. Now, not a good movie.
Right.
A dog of a film.
Right.
Here's the thing. Let's go crazy.
Okay.
And gender flip Hercules.
Let her play Hercules.
Let Gugu Mbatha-Raw play Hercules.
Sure, why not? Sure, why not?
It had to be better than this movie.
Okay.
Because this movie is horrible.
I forgot it existed until this exact second.
And The Rock wishes that you did.
I know.
All right.
No one was smelling what The Rock was cooking.
Not that.
Okay.
Number 2. What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh,
from
boy.
2014. Now.
Oh, where you going to put her in that?
I'm not saying that this film needed her.
Okay.
Because What We Do in the Shadows, a mockumentary about these vampires living in, I think, like Los Angeles or something like that.
And it's kind of perfect.
It is absolutely an amazing mockumentary.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the series that spawned from it.
Yeah.
I want to put Gugu Mbatha-Raw in this film to show that she can do comedy.
Okay.
And with this cast, because it is a mockumentary, she can still play it straight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And see if she can get it over. And I think she could.
I'm going to go along with you because we just watched her in BELLE, and we know you can throw her in the deep end.
Yes.
Because for this to be her first comedic experience would be getting thrown in the deep end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, and she definitely have to, bring her A game, but I think she could do it. I think she could do it.
Yeah.
Now, you ready for the number 1 film from 2014?
I am ready.
That Gugu Mbatha-Raw, they needed her.
Lethal Weapon 2.
That was not 2014.
Isn't it every year though? Isn't every year Lethal Weapon 2?
I don't know if it's every year. It certainly is every show. The number 1 film.
Number 1
is Lucy from 2014. This is the film that starred Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
As she gets become basically like this artificial intelligence.
Right.
And like heightened.
Right. Isn't there kung fu involved?
Yes.
And shooting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did not see it, but I remember it when it was out. Yeah.
Not bad. Yeah. But Scarlett Johansson, I'm very hit or miss on her as an actress. And I think that more often than not, I miss with her as an actress. I think she's a bit wooden. And I think Raw would have brought a lot more nuance to this film. Now, to be fair, she's supposed to be playing somebody who's like becoming more and more just intelligence.
Right.
So you could argue that calls for a certain level of, woodenness, one-noteness.
Right.
But the road there didn't need to be one note.
Okay.
Didn't need to be.
I mean, look, I actually like Scarlett Johansson, but I think Gugu Mbatha-Raw is a better actress. So sure.
So that's my number 1.
All right, I'll go along with that. It's amazing all these movies came out. I'd forgotten about them. Didn't see them. 2014 wasn't that long ago. I mean, I guess 8 years is kind of long ago.
So the only film of those you saw,
What We Do in the Shadows.
That's the only one.
That's the only thing in that list that I've seen. And a couple of them I had forgotten existed. Like Lucy. No, I saw Sin City, A Dame to Kill For.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. But yeah, Lucy, Hercules. What was the other one?
Into the Woods.
Yeah, I'd forgotten they existed.
Okay.
Like you said, I was like, oh yeah, they did make it Into the Woods movie.
They did. Khadija Waldron, Len isn't as obsessed with Google as he is with Nia Long. No, I'm not.
No lawyers have gotten involved.
No, I'm not. But I like her.
Hey, look. She's really good.
She's really good.
Actually, I know we go ahead and wrap it up. I actually think she's having a problem that these actors run into sometimes. Like, I actually think she's too pretty and people don't take her as seriously as they should. Because she's really good.
She is. I'm trying to think, like, does she maybe just do a lot more stage work?
Maybe.
Well, not really, because she hasn't even been on the stage since 2015.
Because you know my absolute favorite actress right now, who I think has gotten just old enough. And excuse me if I mispronounce her name, because remember she changed her name back to her actual name.
Mel Gibson.
Thandiwe Newton. I love.
Oh, I didn't know that she changed her name.
Yeah.
She changed her name back. So what?
It's not Tandy Newton. Remember, she let me get it right, because I don't want to be respectful.
You mean you want to be respectful?
I want to be respectful. Right. She said that they misspelled her name early on.
And she just rolled with it.
And she rolled with it. But now she wants people to use her correct name. Because Henry Newton is just hardcore now, as we've talked about previously.
Oh, she is. So what is her actual?
I think it's Thandiwe. It's Thandiwe.
Oh, so Thandiwe.
I think it's Thandiwe. I think.
Thandiwe Newton.
Yes. Again, if I'm mispronouncing it, I apologize in advance.
That's pretty.
I think that kind of I think she kind of got typecast a little bit early on. She was sort of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. And so you're thinking that might be what's happening with
right.
Well, I mean, she's working though.
Yeah.
She is working. She's got an upcoming series coming up.
And she was great in Loki.
Yeah, she's gonna be in that new series on Apple TV that's about to drop. Surface.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's
for her.
So she's in there.
Get some of that Apple money, girl.
Yeah. Sure. Get it. All right. Catrice Greer agrees. Thandiwe Newton, she is amazing. She's incredible in everything, and I love her in Westworld.
I was about to say I don't really push Westworld on people anymore, because I do think it kind of crawled up its ass.
This is the final season, right?
I don't know if this is the final season, maybe next season, but she is remarkable in Westworld. Absolutely remarkable from the beginning to right now. And you know, it's one of those things where I'm pretty sure Rachel
Harris.
Rachel Weisz, the star
of Westworld.
I
don't even know. I don't watch Westworld.
But I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be her show. Evan Rachel Wood.
Okay.
Who is also very good. But Thandiwe Newton is a beast.
And she's kind of like stole the.
She is an actual monster on this show. Like, she is acting her ass off. And at this point now in the last season, this is the last season, but now it's like her and Tessa Thompson just putting on a clinic every week. It's like her, Tessa Thompson, Jeffrey Wright are like looking at Chiwetel Ejiofor, Clark Peters, and Naomi Harris on The Man Who Fell to Earth. And it's just black people in science fiction doing super acting.
Just dueling sci-fi.
Dueling black sci-fi.
Dueling Afrocentrist.
It is what a time to be a blurred.
You know, I actually was thinking about, like, do I want to rewatch Westworld and catch up? And I was like, I don't know.
I thought the first season was really good.
I thought it was good too.
I thought the second season was good. Last season, like I said, it kind of crawled up its own ass.
So this is the fourth season.
This is the fourth season. The third episode of this season just came out yesterday, and I haven't seen it yet. But the first 2 episodes, it's like they've corrected course. Like the first couple of episodes were fantastic. So
maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. All right.
Like I said, I'm not pushing it on. But she's amazing.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
All right.
Yeah. I will push Ghostbusters Afterlife.
All right.
So before we tell you what we're going to be watching next week, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to check us out. The Micheaux Mission, 2 Men, 1 podcast, every black film ever made. Go to MicheauxMission.com where you can check out all of the shows, all of our past episodes, read more about us, learn about Oscar Micheaux, and you can also hit swag and check out all of the cool designs and gifts that we have available for your buying pleasure by way of our good friends at TeePublic. You can email the Micheaux Mission at MicheauxMission@gmail.com. That's MicheauxMission@gmail.com. Leave us a voicemail at 215-867-9666 and tell Vincent and Len, that's us, what's on your mind. Follow the Micheaux Mission on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Micheaux Mission. Subscribe to the Micheaux Mission on YouTube and Twitch at Micheaux Mission. We are also now, for the first time, we are streaming to LinkedIn as well, to my LinkedIn profile.
Fancy.
So you can check us out there if you're following us on LinkedIn. Hello to all of my fellow professionals. Please give us a 5-star rating and a review, especially on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, because that helps people find us in their things they call algorithms. And the Micheaux Mission is always a proud member of the Podglomerate Podcast Network. The Podglomerate, they make podcasts work. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, we have a programming note. The Micheaux Mission will be broadcasting live next week on Monday.
Yes.
Monday, June 18th.
Yes.
At 7 p.m. So check your calendars, update your calendars. We will be streaming live on Monday, June 18th, next week. Same time, 7 p.m. as we review from 1989 Vincent's selection, Chameleon Street.
Mm-hmm.
Next week on the Micheaux Mission, special time, Monday, June 18th at 7 p.m. All right. Okay. Until then, he's Vince. I'm Len. And in parting, we say,
we'll see you when it's time to meet again.